I want to get into another story. Remember, the Indian embassies across that region are closely monitoring the situation. We're given to understand that the Indian embassy in Iran is actively monitoring all Indian nationals who've been stranded because of the ongoing security tensions. Officials are maintaining a direct communication to track the safety, location and immediate needs of all Indian nationals. There are about 10,000 last estimate who are in Iran. But they'd also put out an advisory which has now been reissued, urging citizens to stay cautious, avoid unnecessary movement, and follow safety protocols. Sanjay is still with us. Sanjay, in terms of the large number of Indian expat population in the region, they would be concerned, not just the ones who are in Iran, but also the people who are living and working in UAE, in Bahrain, in Saudi Arabia. What are you hearing from various Indian missions in and around the region?
Well, the difficulties for people in Iran were anticipated. They're clear to an extent. There is a difficulty here within Israel. Is coming under attack repeatedly. Iranian ballistic missiles are breaching the Israeli air defenses, and they've been doing it again and again. The fear is that this could be intensified in days to come. But clearly, the difficulties for the Indian expat community in the wider Arab world, in the UAE, in Bahrain, in Jordan, in all these states, this is quite unexpected. Certainly, there has been a warning from Iran, and a repeated warning, that they will widen the war, they will target the entire region. And as they see it, these are countries that are hosting and facilitating the US armed forces. And so they would see this as, for that reason, a legitimate target. But hitting the civilian facilities there is hitting the economic lifeline of these countries, and this is an attack on their economic lifeline. And this is an attack that Iran has clearly prepared for too. They know that defenses, air defenses, are relatively weak in these areas because they were not expecting to be hit, and it is going for those. This is the beginning of some sort of a strategy that is still in place. No doubt the killing of Khamenei has been a very, very big setback, as of all the other top leaders killed straight away. But there appears to be a degree of tenacity within the established regime structure, and that is coming into play now, and they are continuing with this under a new leadership, and this will really physically continue until the last missile launcher has been neutralized, and that may not be easy.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, Sanjay Suri, for joining us live from Tel Aviv. There is breaking news coming in, dime a dozen now. Iran reportedly attacking oil tankers. There was a report of an oil tanker off the coast of Oman being attacked. Now word that its own tanker from their shadow fleet has been struck in the Strait of Hormuz, and that has caused it to catch fire and begin sinking. The ship was targeted for allegedly illegally passing through the Strait of Hormuz. Just a couple of days ago, Iran had demonstrated that it could cut off the entire Strait of Hormuz, passage through the Strait of Hormuz. 20% of the world's oil passes through that very, very critical waterway. Adrian Fortinellis, what does this mean? This is the other point of leverage that Iran has, aside of its ballistic missiles, aside of its drones. What if they cut off the Strait of Hormuz? What happens then?
Actually, it is probably the most powerful leverage tool we have, because it will create instability on the prices of oil, increase of the prices, and then it will affect the entire world. And if they manage at the same time to continue to at least partly blockade or hinder the maritime traffic in the straits, with the weeks going on, and if they are able to continue to resist the US-Israeli air campaign, then it will generate tremendous international pressure to stop this war against Iran.
Okay, so that's the direction in which you see this war moving. If Major General Yaqub is still there, Major General, this seems to be the biggest point of leverage that Iran has to try and cut off the Strait of Hormuz. And they seem to be moving in that direction, attacking oil tankers, one off the coast of Oman, and now their own, which is part of their shadow fleet, I'm given to understand.